Hello, friends. Welcome. I am so glad you're here with me today. If we have not met, my name is Carrie Giletto, and you are here with Whimsy Stamps live with Carrie on Thursdays at 1 o'clock Eastern, noon Central. So I'm glad you're here with me, and today we're going to be just making three really fun cards that are just useful for every day. Everybody needs these kind of cards in their stash. So let's go ahead and switch our camera and take a look at what we're going to make. All right, here we go. So like I said, these cards are just happy, easy little cards. And I'm just going to use one stencil to make these. And I had so much fun just playing with this stencil. There's so many fun things you can do with it. And like I said, I just did three, but I have ideas for many more. I did pull in just a couple more product. And one of them is the Happy Die. And the Happy Die also has a stamp set that you can get called Happy Sayings, and you can combine these to just say happy all kinds of things. So they go together, and they're very useful to have in your stash. And then the last product I pulled in here is the my brain just went blank. Sprinkled Scallops Rectangle Set. So this is one that I use often. I love this beautiful frame. I use it a lot. So, okay, let's go ahead and get started. So to begin, it helps out if you do just a little bit. And while we're doing this, I'm just going to refresh my screen and see if I am streaming, because I am not coming up. There we go. Yes, I'm here. So I can see comments now. If you're with me, I would love to have you say hello. Let's see here. Just going to go to, there we go. All right. Yes, I can see our comments in both YouTube and on Facebook. So you will need three white card blanks, and I do mine side folding, but top folding, however you prefer. Then I went ahead and die cut three of the sprinkled scallop, the largest die, out of white. And then I went ahead and took three card panels, and I have cut these down so they fit perfectly inside my scallop. I'll go ahead and measure that for you, but that's 3.5 by 4 3/4. And that will make the perfect size for inside your scallop. The other thing I did was I went ahead and die cut three happy words in different colors, and I wanted to make sure I had one in black. The other two colors, it's pretty just up to you, whatever you like. You're also going to need some masking tape of one kind or another. This is minty tape, but any kind of, we're going to mask off to make our stripes, so that will help you a lot. And then having some little Post-it notes will help too, and I will show you what we're going to do with those. So the first one we're going to make is this one, and then we'll progress to this one. And our very last one will be this one. And that is because for our using black ink, that way we won't accidentally get any kind of black on our white. So when I use a stencil, I like to bring in a gel plate. This is a great way for holding your stencil on and your paper all in one place while you do this. So I'm going to go ahead and just put one of my papers that I've cut down, and then I'm going to position this so that my butterflies are where I want them. Right here, I think will be good. Maybe angling it just a little bit. There we go. I wanted to make sure these butterflies were all the way on my paper. And for this, I'm going to bring in some rainbow inks, and I'm going to be using this, but any kind of inks that you have will work great. And I'm going to use a hot pink in place of my red, and then I have an orange, a yellow, a green, a blue, and a purple, because we're just going to do a little bit of rainbow here. And I'm going to be using some stencil brushes. And I have both kinds. I have both the larger makeup brushes and the smaller ones. Now for these little butterflies, it's kind of nice to use these smaller ones. And this is what I'm going to use my Post-it notes for. I'm just going to go ahead and any of the other little designs here that are on my paper, I'm just going to go ahead and block those off so I don't accidentally get any. Like this one I don't need to block off because that's over on my mat, but these I'm going to go ahead and block off. And we're going to begin with the part with our hot pink, and we'll just do across the top here. So have y'all recovered from the holidays? I tell you what, I had wonderful holidays, but my granddaughters and all of my children were here. And I have to tell you, I was exhausted. Those grandbabies wore me out in the most wonderful way. I wouldn't have changed a thing. It was perfect, but boy, was I tired. So it did take me a few days to recover. Several of us kind of came down with some colds over the holidays, so there was that to contend with, but not bad. Overall, we were good. Now I am overlapping the color just a little bit there, like on the very bottom of that butterfly. Now I'm going to come in with the yellow color. This largest butterfly, I really wanted to make sure he was a little more ombre. So I'm trying to just kind of make straight lines across. Some of my brushes are new, so I'm having to really ink up. Once these are kind of broken and have plenty of ink kind of soaked down into them, they will, apply the ink much faster. I find that I like a brush after it's a little more worn in. It's fun to use brand new, but I find I don't think they work quite as well as when you use them after they've got plenty of ink in them. Okay. Our green, and now we'll move on to the blue. A little more, like I said, just to get those well done. There we go. And our last color will be a little bit of our purple color. Stenciling is one of my favorite ways to make a card. I think it's just a fun, relaxing way. Boy, the purple applies so much better than the blue. Maybe I need to re-ink. I'm just going to blend those out a little bit on some of these colors. A little bit of the green here. All right, there we go. It's time for our reveal. And I'm going to save my Post-it notes because I'll be using those again. And there we go. We have our butterflies all ready to go. So I'm going to set this one aside, and very quickly, I'm going to clean off my stencil before we move on. So I like to just have some paper towel and lay it on there. And in one of my spritz bottles, I have it marked alcohol, and this is just regular rubbing alcohol. And I can spritz it a couple times there. And you can already see that ink just starting to activate there. And then it's just going to wipe off super easily. There we go. And now it is ready to go for the next one. And the rubbing alcohol, it dries really quickly, so I don't have to wait very long before I'm just ready to go. And I find when I use a baby wipe, I get little pulled up hairs of a thread, you know, from the wipe. It comes off in the little pointy parts. And so I really prefer doing it the way I just showed you. All right, so we're going to move on to our next one. And we will have to do a bit more blocking off for this one. But I'm going to start with my largest butterfly and put him about right here. And again, we're going to go ahead and mask off anything that could get in the way. And I think I'm just going to try to use the ink that I already have in my brush, but I am going to do his middle in some blue. And then a little bit of my purple on his wings. And I am doing this one a little bit softer. Blend that out a little bit. And there we go. That one is done. Now for my next one, let's see. Let's move these. I'm going to quickly wipe off my stencil. Okay. And I'm going to put a little one right up here. And I'm just kind of creating just a little scene right on my card. And for this one, I'm going to do him in the yellow. I do him all yellow, and then I'll make his body just in the middle. I'll add a little bit of orange. I want to put that yellow on there kind of heavy. There we go. Just going to use a little bit of orange there in his middle. Blend him on out with the yellow. All right. Now for my final butterfly on this one, just want to pick one that's a good size for what I want, but I think I'll use this one right here. There we go. They may not be exactly the same as the one I did before, and that's okay. And for this one, I'm going to do the hot pink. And I'll come in with just a little bit of that orange on the outside to make him a little two-tone as well. All right. Now again, I'm going to go right over here and clean off my stencil, and we are going to add our little butterfly tails. And I think for this one, I'm going to, this is a little trick you can do with your stencils. Like for doing it this way, I want him to have this, but it's going the wrong direction. So I'm going to flip my stencil upside down and position this right where I want it to go. Maybe just a little bit lower. Okay. All right, now to get this going the way I wanted it to go, I had to put some of those little dots. So I'm going to cover those up. I'm also going to cover up the side here so I don't accidentally put grass where I don't want it. And then right down here. And I'm going to come in with a gray color and go ahead and, let's see here, is this gray? I think so. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of and we will have a nice little flying trail behind our butterfly. All right. Don't think, sometimes with this bigger brush, I didn't bring over my smaller brush. Wait, maybe I did. Nope, I didn't. So I'll have to use these bigger brushes. I have those for every color, but all right. There, oh, look, I did it anyway. Oh, you have to just be really careful. Did you see that? Yep, that's okay. We can fix that later. And the next one, we're going to use this really curlicue. Now, what did that when I cleaned this off, when I turned my stencil over, it still had a little bit on it. And again, I'm just going to position that about right here. And hopefully I didn't get any more on there. We may have, I hope not, but if we did, it is okay. We can fix that. Whoops, put this right here. I thought I had that dried off enough, but I guess not. Okay, there's that one. I did pretty good. And then for our very last one, I'm going to use this little bit right over here. Just going to position that. Whenever there's an edge, you want to cover that up. At least I need to. Some people are pretty good at controlling their ink and not getting it, but obviously I need to give myself every advantage I can to not mess it up. And even then, sometimes. All right, there we go. Now, the last thing we're going to do for this one is add a little bit of grass. And I am just going to, I'm going to keep my stencil this way. And let's see, I'm going to take a piece of scratch paper and just kind of cover up this top part so that I don't accidentally transfer any more ink. Lay that down like that. And I'm just going to come back with my green and give a nice soft grass down here at the bottom. There we go. Okay, to fix our little place right here, I'm going to quickly come in with a mono eraser and see if I can remove some of that. And hopefully I can just get that right off. It's coming off pretty good. Yeah, there we go. If you don't have a mono eraser in your craft room and you're doing lots of inking, it's a must-have, right? It forgives a lot of little boo-boos. Okay, so we're done with that one. We are ready to do our striped background. Grab. Okay, there's our last panel. And this is where we're going to use our minty tape. Now I'm going to very quickly just switch over to YouTube, make sure I'm not missing any comments. Hi, Nancy, there you go. It says Handy Scandy on Nancy's thing, and I always want to call her Handy instead of Nancy. I hope you are feeling better. I know over the holidays she had some not feeling so great. Okay, so we're going to start with our hot pink. Again, we're going to go do our rainbow here. And I always like to have 2 pieces of minty tape when I do this, and I will show you why. So I've got another long piece, and I am going to make that just match up perfectly with my first one. Now peel this one back and move it up so that I just barely see a pink edge. Now, let me hold that up. Maybe you can see it. Do you see how you can just barely see the pink edge? If you try to put it right on, you run the risk of having a little white line. But if you overlap them just barely, You don't want to overlap a lot, but a little bit is okay. And I think for this, I am going to use my bigger brushes. That'll make it go faster. There we go. And then we're just going to continue moving them down. I'll take this one, put it right up against that one. This one up. And again, going to put this one just so I barely see a hint of the orange. And the next color will be the yellow color. Oops. Dropping my brushes over here. Oh, good. Nancy says she's feeling better. You know, my family over the Christmas, none of us got super sick, but had a little bit of head cold going around. Different ones were keeping the Kleenexes close by, but overall, nobody had anything serious. It was just a little bit of sniffles going around. It sounded like, Nancy, that you got to feeling pretty under the weather, so glad you're better. There we go. All right, again, we're just going to work our way down, doing our little rainbow here. Excuse my head if it's in the camera. I just want to make sure that I get that in the right spot. I apologize for last week that I missed y'all. I was going to do these cards for you last week, and we had just a little bit of technical difficulty, but they were pretty easily fixed. And we're back in business now. So, oh no, look what I did. Well, we'll have to put this on a little bit heavier. Cover that up. Now, normally to keep that from happening, you tap off. I usually tap off right on my tape. All right. We're not going to worry about that today. All right, and now we're just going to move this down. There we go. Hello, Kendra. It's good to see you today. Does everybody have their Christmas tree taken down? I know we talked about this before the holidays, and I had said that I usually take mine down on January 1st. Well, y'all, it's still up. I'm so behind on that kind of thing. I still have stockings on the banister. It's a mess. And I came straight up to my craft room after all my family left, and I've just been enjoying getting projects ready for the next couple months, and I haven't even addressed all the Christmas decorations downstairs. So something yet to be done. Oh my, Kendra, I am jealous. I was like, I wish, something my kids could do for me for Christmas, if they really wanted to make me happy, is stay an extra day and put away all the Christmas decorations. They wouldn't have to buy me anything for Christmas. Just put those decorations all away for me. I should have taken them down day after. If I had, it wouldn't be hanging over my head now. It's starting to get to me. So maybe that'll be my goal for this evening, is to get those down. We'll see if I make it. See if by next week I have it done. Okay. I'm just going to cover up that little bitty corner. Move this up. Get that. All right. Now for the purple, usually there's enough purple. That purple goes on pretty heavy. So I'm just going to use what's left in the brush. There we go. Now we'll just move this one up. And I'll be able to use my smaller one just to add a little bit of hot pink right down there in the corner. All right, so now that we have our background made, we are going to add our butterflies. But before I do that, I want to very, very well clean off my, because we did the dark gray, I've got my stencil dirty here, so we want to make sure that that's cleaned well so that we don't have to use the mono eraser anymore. Just going to put that under there. And I want to get the green from where we did the grass and just get that all cleaned up. Because to do our butterflies, we are going to be turning this back over. There we go. That looks pretty good. All right. Bring this back. Now we're just going to position our butterflies just like we did before. There we go. Going to mask off just like we did before. Now, whenever you're using black ink, it becomes even more important to mask off really well. And let's see, right here, I'll do one. Okay, so our last color here, I'm going to come in with some black. If I can get it open. There we go. And I'm going to use a big brush for this color as well. And we're going to just start adding our black. I think the butterflies are very pretty done in the rainbow colors, but I really liked the silhouette look of the black butterflies on the rainbow background. And you do have to put it on pretty heavy to get the rainbow in the background to not show through. So you want to make sure you're getting full coverage of everything. I think that's pretty good. They're looking good. Okay. One last time, and voila. We're going to put our happy right over the top of that and see if we can't cover that mistake up. Okay, one more time here. We're just going to clean up our stencil. And again, even with black ink, this is going to come right off. Now, you wouldn't want to let that sit for like a half hour while you do put your cards together without cleaning it up. You do want to go ahead and clean it up straight away if you're using the alcohol method, because it would stain your stencil if you left it on there for a long time. But that looks pretty good. All right. Throw my paper towel away, and all we have left to do is construct our cards. So let's get our 3 panels out. Close up my gel mat. All right, well, I have chose the words everything, hello, and greetings to go along with our hello words, and I have gone ahead and put those on a mat. Hello, Dawn, I almost called you D. Polly. Same thing with Nancy. You're going to be D. Polly and Handy instead of Nancy and Dawn. But it's good to see you. I hope you're having a lovely day. It's staying pretty nice here in Texas. We've been getting along well. So I'm just getting my inks out of the way here so I'll have plenty of room. I'm going to pull out my happy words. Now, I think I'm going to go, let's decide here. I think I want the hot pink one on that. And like I said, I'm going to position that happy so it just kind of covers up that spot that I have. I'm going to use this yellow one right here. And it's okay. I'm going to let my happy be right over the top of my butterflies. And then I really liked the black one on this one. So we're going to go ahead and glue those in place. Get rid of some of my brushes here. So when I'm crafting by myself, I tend to get quite messy. I'll have like just all my supplies and stuff just strung all over the place. And when I'm live, I try really hard to keep the part that you guys see, you know, tidied up enough to where you can tell what's going on. So, but it's not my nature. I have to like remind myself to like, okay, clear the trash out of the way so people don't have to look at that. All right. And because I wanted to keep these just, you know, fast, simple cards, I didn't double these up. I just have one layer for each one. But you could fold your paper over and glue it, cut it out so that your happy is a little more substantial. That's totally up to you. Sometimes I do that trick, and sometimes I just keep it one layer. On this one, my Y got a little bent over. Okay. Straighten that up a little bit. All right, and for the final one. So Nancy, while you're here in the chat, I was going to ask you, where do you store all those coffee cups? Oh, good. Dawn says her tree's not down yet either. That does make me feel better. If by next week mine's not down, I'm going to feel really bad. In fact, I'm thinking it's going to be tonight. Now that I've said it out loud, I'm thinking, okay, I got to do it tonight. There's no way I can let that still be up. But Nancy, where do you store all those coffee mugs? You had so many pictures. I don't have that many cabinets. Okay, there we go. We've got those done. Let's go ahead and we will, before I go any further, let's go ahead and add our greens. So for this one, I'm going to add it in gray. There we go. And on the other two, I'm going to use the black. And I think this time I'm going to put the word everything on this one. And the word hello over here under this one. It gives you just a little bit more room. There we go. Okay. And now from here, we're just going to glue these onto our card bases, and our 3 stencil cards will be finished and ready to mail out. There we go. I just noticed one step I forgot to do on this one, but I will show you in just a moment. On this card, I did come back with my blue brush and just very lightly go around the edges just to add a little bit of a blue hue around the edge so that you could see it on the white a little better. So that's just a trick you can do if you like that look. If not, it still looks just as good with the panel. And of course, the last thing would be just to add our cards right here onto our card bases. But there's our 3 happy cards, and we will stop right there because I know I'm keeping you too long. I just noticed what time it is. I'm just going to check in here and make sure I've answered everything. Dawn's wondering the same thing. Let's see. Thank you, Kendra. She likes the colorful butterflies. Well, this is a fun set of cards to make if you enjoy stenciling. I'm going to go ahead and switch the camera back. Thank you so much for being here with me today. It's just do a little stenciling to get yourself back into the swing of things after the holidays. And there is still so many fun products there in the last chance section underneath the sales tab on the website, and there was a deal over the holidays of 45% off on those, and you didn't need a code. It was just automatically done in your basket. So I believe that may still be going on. So if you did not know about that, if you put some of those in your basket when you check out, you may have a surprise and just have a 45% discount there. So all right, well, thank you so much for crafting with me today, and I look forward to seeing you next week where we are going to do some more butterflies and some foiling. So all right, have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.